Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and the Kombat Kast for Rambo just wrapped up, and we've actually learned quite a few details. Not only about Rambo, which we'll get to, but also some details coming up. So first up, before we get to the Rambo stuff, let's go over some of the details, and yes, there will be a Melina Kombat Kast stream. That will be next week sometime, probably Wednesday. And yes, there will be a Melina trailer coming, quote-unquote, soon. When is soon? Hey, who knows? Now, they also mentioned the Melina Kombat Kast will be bringing up system-level changes as well. We know there's some coming, we know at least delayed wake-ups and some other small things, and that will be gone over hopefully in full, and one of the big hints is variations is going to be changed. Now, how is it going to be changed? Fourth variation? I hope not, honestly. 3 is already kind of too much. Custom variations? I'd love it, but maybe not. What I think is they might do like a variation rebalance, where a couple variations might get an additional move or a move might get reworked for each character. We'll see, I guess. Custom variations is the big hope, though, because that'll just blow this game wide open. And now, let's talk about Rambo. So one of the core essences of Rambo is, hey, he's a very experienced soldier, master of all forms of combat, hand-to-hand guns, traps, everything, all forms of survival, and it shows in the character, right? He's a very experienced person. And gameplay-wise, he's, well, depending on the variation you're in anyways, he's kind of a trap zoner in some variations, screen control in the other. And a lot of his moves help towards that. Variation wise, you can do a lot of different playstyles. Variation 2 is seemingly, especially the trap zoning variation, very good at just controlling the screen, whereas variation 3 is just all about going berserk and has all sorts of 50-50 shenanigans, all sorts of mix-up shenanigans with command grabs built in. So quickly to talk here now about some basic normals and strings. So this string is indeed a meterless launcher. I'm sure you can get a much better combo than what's shown. It's just for demo purposes, right? But meterless launchers in this game is pretty rare. Usually you always have to burn bar to do it, and some variations, don't have a quote-unquote combo variation, so you just can't do it, right? This being a basic string means at the very least, every variation has some combo potential. This guy here is a single hit overhead, so think along the lines like, say, Scorpion's back 3, right? Single hit overhead. And also, if it connects twice in a row, it does have a crushing blow for the second hit. Maybe a little bit on the slower side of things, but just the fact he has it and also has a crushing blow, it'll happen, right? Even the best players fall asleep at the wheel sometimes, so very good to have. On to the basic throws here. The back throw is nothing special other than it has a fantastic animation. You can see they fall through a trap you set up and toss a grenade in there as they're trying to get out. Probably has a brutality, looks great. And the forward throw. So this is crushing blow, okay. And once again here, as you can see, it does 130 instead of 140. But the crushing blow, how it activates isn't the usual stuff. How it activates is if Rambo has not jumped or been hit in the last 10 seconds, then the crushing blow is active. So basically, if there's a stall in the momentum of the game and for any reason, Rambo will have a crushing blow to work with. This one here, it was stated it can also be combo okay after the fact. Also seems to be a little bit of a bleed effect. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, so that's very strong, very unique as well. So if the game slows down for any reason at all, Rambo then has a massively powerful tool to work with. Now, on to his base special moves here. First, we have the bow, and hey, well, he shoots an arrow, right? More than likely high, but you can hold it. So you can hold it, and it becomes a bit of a stance, and you're allowed to shoot 3 different arrows before you have to relinquish the hold. So, hey, once again, just good screen control, right? And now we got the punji sticks. Now, going by the old trailer, I thought this was going to be a variation move because how strong it seems. And no, it's part of his core moveset. So this guy hits low, you gotta block low, watch your toes, and he has a close and a far version. So effectively, it can be anywhere on the screen. Like the close version, as you can see here, there we go, right? And further up, that's the range of the screen. And the beautiful part about this is he lowers his hurt box while he's doing this. He goes low to the ground, right? So while doing this great screen control move, he himself will be removing himself from danger as like high projectiles will just go clear over his head. Looks to be an incredibly powerful move, and this is part of what they were talking about with Rambo having fantastic screen control. This eats up a lot more screen than, say, like a Garrus Sand Pit or something, right? So yeah, I just think this move is absolutely fantastic. Next up, we get a slide, very reminiscent of Sub-Zero. It was mentioned there's a few options. You can hold forward to make the move go further forward, obviously enough. And you can also have the option, even on block, to roll backwards, making it a little bit harder to punish. So it could be used with good spacing. And if you get it 3 times, like Sub-Zero, you can enhance it and get the big crushing blow. So the crushing blow, as you can see there, some real damage, right? So it's definitely like Sub-Zero, something to fish for. And this guy here, not part of the base moveset, but he does have a self-healing move. A bug kind of just goes, and Rambo stabs it and eats it, gets some health back. And what's really funny about this is the heal has a crushing blow. And yeah, nice little slow-mo, all that stuff, right? So yeah, very cool. Not part of the base moveset. Maybe if we get custom variations we can use it, we'll find out, I guess. But interesting nevertheless. Now here we get a look at the first variation. And we have the move where Rambo kind of just trips you up, and as I called it in the trailer, yes, you can enhance it, and it is full combo time, and you can probably get some pretty savage stuff. Just another example that he controls the screen very well. Now here we have the Commando Crawl. And yes, so it's part of the moveset. It's an odd one here, and he's like so low to the ground that some characters' lows are going to whiff on it, I guarantee it. And he can do a few things. So this is a basic strike. You can always do that. He has a command grab, which will get you. And he also has a parry, like a counter. And this parry is high, mid, and low all at the same time. You don't gotta choose like so many games where you gotta choose, what height you want to parry. This gets everything. So some characters, some matchups, I can guarantee you this is gonna be an ultra frustrating thing because they can't hit someone so low to the ground. Also, if you manage to crawl a great distance and go for the grab will then become a crushing blow. Now, variation 2, and for my money, this is my variation. So first up, we get the one gun move he has, the M60, and he just picks it up, hidden in the ground. He always had it there waiting the whole time, and he just unloads on you. Now, some things to note here. 1, the basic shot does 9%, which is above average, and it also knocks down on hit. So you can get screen control, get in, get out, depending on what you want, right? The EX also does almost 15%. That is a lot for both, like EX or non-EX, that is a lot of damage for a projectile in this game. On top of the fact it just looks sick as hell, honestly. Like, to get real, this move looks cool. Rambo with the big machine gun, what's not to love, right? But yeah, so it just seems better than average. Now here's the fun stuff, the Claymore. So this is just legit trap zoning style trap. And yes, you can run into your own Claymore, just FYI. But yeah, so anyone who gets near the Claymore will explode, and it will last for a fair bit. And if you enhance it, it's invisible. Like, it ain't going to move on you, right? But if people get forgetful, heat of the action, all that kind of stuff, if you place it and enhance it, it's just gone. You better remember where it was placed, otherwise you might just run into it. And finally, Variation 2 has the Swinging Trap, which once again just owns a lot of real estate. This does replace the Punji Stick, by the way. And if you enhance it, it becomes the Log, which eats even more real estate, I'm assuming much bigger hitbox, right? So this combined with the Claymore equals you own a lot of the screen, and you're going to make people afraid to move, combined with a higher damaging projectile. It's a little bit better than the average. This is absolutely the screen control variation, and I'm looking forward to it. Like the Punji Stick before, Rambo also crouches low to the ground, meaning more than likely high projectiles will go over his head while he's doing it. And with Variation 3, this is the Go Ham variation. So he has grabs on the end of strings, and these are true grabs, so hopefully some tick throw setups. And on top of that, he does have a true command grab as well. This grab ender string is a restand also, by the way, so probably a good way to end that meterless launcher you have. So that's the command grab there, and if you enhance it, you are able to choose what side you want to dump him out on, left or right. So similar to Terminator in that way. And directional control very strong in MK11, so very good to have. Also, like some other command grabs in this game, does have a crushing blow. If you catch a roll, well then crushing blow, and hey, just ripping you apart. To help this out on being the go crazy variation, you have the commando roll. So not only does it switch sides, it also has multiple options. So you have that knife strike, that's like a basic strike. You are also able to do that, which is an overhead, that bow hit, and you can just free cancel it, right? And do whatever you want from there. So the enemy immediately has to guess, okay, is he going to hit a button? Is he going to go crazy? And then you can cancel out and throw him or something like that, right? And if you catch a button whiffing, then that nice life becomes a crushing blow. So if you're the kind of person that likes mix-ups and always keeping your opponent guessing, this is the variation for it. So that's the variations. I want to bring this up real quick. So this is one of his brutality win poses. And forget the portal. I know people are freaking out about the portal. We did this on Twitter already. But as I posted out on Twitter, hey, that's actually the portal to his ranch home, which is the ending to Rambo 4. So hey, really cool and a nice little nod to the character's history. And that's the Rambo breakdown as we have it. So lots of info. I was already very excited for the character, and honestly, now seeing this, I'm all the more excited yet. Very, very excited for Variation 2 specifically. And what do we got coming up? Well, we have a Mileena trailer going to drop at some point, and a Mileena Kombat Kast next week. And of course, on the channel, expect full breakdowns of those. Once again, the Mileena Kombat Kast will also be going over system level changes, which I'm very excited to see. And whatever they're talking about variations, hopefully customs, but even a rebalance, that would be very welcome. Basically, long story short, Rambo looks really cool. And if you haven't seen the movies, I highly recommend you at least watch the first two. They're both fantastic. And my friends, that's the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Mortal Kombat.